says in broadcast.
and broadcast.
Okay, now I see Mike.
Great. So now you should see that send guest request.
I see a little pink thing with,
Should be right above it.
Yep, should be right above that. It's very faint.
nothing there. Don't see a thing.
Huh. Bobby, can you confirm that he has multi-guest?
Yeah, so double check just now. They're both enabled for host and for guest.
I'm showing it to you now. You see there's nothing there.
Yeah, because on his screen, I don't even see that multi-guest is there.
Yeah. So can we disable it and re-enable it? And then Dr. Phil, you'll just need to leave that live and then enter it again once Bobby has confirmed he's officially.
Yeah, I'll disable it right now.
Dr. Phil, I'm going to be mowing your lawn for the next year.
Yeah. Sorry for the technical issues.
So the technical difficulties, or I'll mute myself. So we've been waiting for Dr. Phil to join me. We're going to talk about the new year, but we were having some technical difficulties, kind of trying to figure out how to get this TikTok live thing jamming where the two of us are going to be connected together. So thank you for your patience. No, I did not feel like I was trying to rob this time and just make it about me. I actually wanted Dr. Phil to join me. So he's coming around soon. He's figuring it out with the tech support. And I know Dr. Phil because he's been generous enough to have me on his program many times over the last 2 years. He actually convinced me to write my first book, and I thought he was crazy. Never did well in school, so I was like, how the heck are you going to write a book? And then, he gave me the opportunity. I've been in mental health over 18 years. I own a treatment center. I have a new book coming out, One Decision. Dr. Phil wrote the foreword. I know it's a little backwards. But, it's ever since I made a decision to work with Dr. Phil, a lot has changed. So I think we're going to be able to add him. I'm looking through right now. Doesn't seem like we can yet, but they do seem happy behind me. All right, let me turn on their microphone and see.
Request and see if you see Phil now. It should pop up.
You want me to see if I see Phil now?
Yep, he should pop up there.
Dr. Phil?
Request. He just submitted a request.
Okay, allow request. I'm looking right now. Okay, add guess. Let's see. Geez, I don't see Dr. Phil's name on the add guest part. It says go live with.
Oh, Phil, when you click the send request, did you actually click the pink button here?
No, you want me to hit send request?
Yes.
Send request, yeah.
Okay, and it says 21 guest requests and none of them are Mike.
All good. So click the send request, then you'll see another button that says click send request. Just click the pink buttons there.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, let's see.
Mike,
We found him. Got it. I think we got it. You guys, I think
Okay. Yeah. Mike, are you there?
I'm here, but I don't see you yet. I accepted it. I'm hoping I see you on the screen. Oh, now I see you. All right. We are in business.
Well, let's not get hasty. We can actually see each other, but can we hear each other?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes, actually I can.
I feel like that was trying to put together furniture.
I feel like it was 2020.
Right?
I'm so ready to kick 2020's ass to the curb. You have no idea.
Oh, I'm right there with you.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for going live, man.
This is iced tea I'm drinking, not bourbon.
Yeah, and I'm drinking water with ice.
Yeah. Well, I want to thank everybody for their patience. I'm seeing all of these messages flying by. So thank everybody for hanging in. I'm sure this is going to turn into 50 memes of people watching two supposedly people that know how to tell people how to make their lives better that can't find their ass with a set of deer horns. And
Yeah, that was
we had amazingly patient tech support from people that know exactly what they're doing, and we're like all thumbs.
Yeah, I felt like I was at a party and no one spoke my language.
Exactly. But let me be the first, since today is the 29th, December 29th, let me be the first to congratulate you on the release of One Decision. What an
Thank you.
amazing accomplishment to bring out your second book. And I know this sounds like a shameless plug, but guys, One Decision is an amazing book, and I am so proud of my friend Mike Bear for writing this book. I've been through it 4 or 5 times. I learned something every time I open that book. Congratulations, my friend.
Thank you. I'm grateful to have you as a friend and mentor, and you have paved the way for me to be able to help a lot more people, and I appreciate you.
Well, people maybe don't know the story of how this came about, but I met Mike, about 2.5 years ago, and he was doing amazing work. He's got a treatment center in LA called Cast Centers, and I heard about it through some people in the music business that he was just doing some amazing life coaching, and I talked to some ex clients of his that just couldn't say enough about him. And I thought, I've got to meet this guy and talk to him. And once I did, I thought, there's no way he should be doing this one at a time when he could be doing it millions at a time. And so I went after him like a dog after a bone to get him on the air and get him talking about the coaching principles that he used with everybody from CEOs around the country to A-list celebrities. And I had such an astounding response to people on the air. I then said, I got him over my office. I said, you need to start writing some of this down. You need to put it in a book. And he did. And that was his first book. And then this is his follow-up second book, and he's just become a phenom in America in helping people without the assumption that there's mental illness involved. It doesn't assume that there's anything wrong with you mental illness-wise, biochemically, neurotransmitter-wise, or mental illness-wise. It just assumes behaviorally you can do some things, and it all boils down so often to one decision, and that's why he wrote the book One Decision. So that's just a little short history lesson. Not that anybody gives a shit about how it came about.
Yeah, but
that's
no,
how One Decision came about.
No, let me say too, when he asked me, when Dr. Phil asked you, so if any of you listening or watching right now, imagine you meet Dr. Phil and you've been working in mental health one person at a time, and you kind of looked at everyone who did stuff and wrote books or did TV, and you're kind of like, man, these people must have had to want to be a dream from being a little kid, sitting in school. And Dr. Phil asked me to go on an episode, and out of my mouth came yes. And I had no idea what I signed up for, but it's been the best possible ride ever. So thank you. You wrote the last book, this book, One Decision. And you're right. This year's been a total difficult year. And a lot of people have a hard time rebounding from kind of that, that residue of everything being pretty uncomfortable. And so I think it's how do we start helping people make just an easy decision and one decision towards a better life, right?
Well, yeah, and I think I've always thought New Year's resolutions were kind of silly in one respect, because just a one sentence like, oh, I want to lose 20 pounds, or I want to get in shape. And so they go buy some jogging shoes and they put them on the front porch and the damn things just won't jog. It's like, well, because you didn't put much into it. But it really shouldn't, we really shouldn't think about it as being silly, because any day that we actually call time out to self-reflect is a good thing. I don't care if it's
Mm.
January 1st or June 14th or August 9th. It doesn't matter. And we really shouldn't think about it as resolutions. We should think about it as, what decision do I want to make on purpose that's going to set up my life for the coming year? And make no mistake, the coronavirus isn't going away this Friday night at midnight or whenever the 31st is. It's not going away just because it's a new year. We're still going to have challenges. We're going to have to do rebuilds. We're going to have to do all that. Even if the vaccine was accepted by everybody, taken by everybody, and it was all available tomorrow, we're still going to have to do rebuilds. But the next year is going to go by whether you make purposeful decisions or whether you don't. And that's what I love about one decision, because what Mike does is says, okay, look, here's how to think about making a decision. Here's how to identify what parts of your life you need to make a decision in. And then let's walk through how to do it. And I love that this isn't a book you're going to read and go, that was interesting. This is going to become a manual. These pages are going to be dog-eared, because you're going to go back to this over and over again about how to identify the decisions to make, how to make the decision, then how to execute on that decision. And that's what I love about this. You put a lot into this, Mike.
I did. And you know what I thought would be helpful for everyone is if we kind of, and I'll let you riff a bit, part of what I did in one decision, I love assessments. If you don't know where you start from, you have no idea where the hell you're going. Without an assessment, you're just lost. You're just blaming, right? So I thought it'd be helpful. One of the things that I put in one decision is about a life assessment. And I thought it could be cool just to kind of talk about how sometimes with resolutions, they seem so overwhelming, so big, but sometimes they're small things. And so I just want to kind of go through some of these categories and let you riff on them. Is that cool?
Let's do it.
All right. So one category of life that I have people rate is their family. People don't often think of family as being a part of New Year's resolutions, but there's all different ways in which we can improve our family dynamics, right?
Exactly. And, it's not, like I said, it's not about a New Year's resolution. It's about making a decision, because decisions lead to priorities, and priorities lead to behavioral commitments. And that's what one decision is all about. Because if you make that one decision about what's really important to you, then you have to reorder your life. Because my attitude is, if you have a number one priority and you catch yourself at any time of the day or any day of the week or any month of the year not working on that number one priority, you need to stop what you're doing and get back to your number one priority. If your number one priority is to paint the garage this weekend, and during the weekend you find yourself mowing the grass, stop mowing the grass and go paint the damn garage. If that's your number one priority, stay with your priority. And if your priority is family, you want to rebuild your relationships, you want to nurture your relationships, you want to build, then you need to adjust your lifestyle. You need to put your priorities in order. And I love the way you set up one decision to say, make the decision, then reorder your lifestyle, behave your way to success. That's what I love about that. Do it on purpose. Do it on purpose. That's what I love about it.
Yeah. And I think to that point, sometimes when you make one decision towards your family, there's a lot of people who are like, I'm not talking to my family member, even though it causes a lot of rift. Mom gets upset, your dad's unhappy, maybe there's some stuff going on with your family, but it's just really important to realize in this grand scheme of life, which we don't know if we come back. We have no idea if we're reincarnated. I'll be a giant bear. I don't even know what you would be, Dr. Phil, if you're
already a giant bear.
Truth. What would you be if you came back?
I'm a lover, not a fighter, so I would probably be a cat. I don't know.
A cat. I got you. Well, all right. Well, the thing is, you can sometimes just make a decision and just call that family member that you mean to call. This year's been rough for everyone. So if there's been conflict in your family, everyone's been more sensitive. Everyone's a bit more on edge. Everyone's been affected a little bit by the media, and life's short. So if you have that family member, you can pick up that phone, call them up. Sometimes just saying I'm sorry works wonders.
You
You
know, I
know.
always tell people, don't let the sun set on you one more time without saying or doing with the people in your life the things you need to say or do. And that might be to tell them you love them. It might be to tell them that you forgive them. It might be to tell them to jump up your ass. And even if it's something like that, you'd say, well, oh, that's a terrible thing to say, Dr. Phil. No, I've had so many people that, for example, were molested by a family member, and that family member died before they had the opportunity to say to them what they needed to
Mm,
say to get the cathartic release of telling that person what they did to them. And they got cheated out of that sense of justice because they never got to stand up for themselves and say what they needed to say. So sometimes the message aren't always feel good messages. Sometimes they're standing up and saying, I know what you did to me. Don't think that you got away with it because I know it and I'm telling you. And so it's not always the TV movie sort of things that make you feel better. Sometimes you have to say those things that allow you to get things off your chest. So
mm,
it just know that when you're talking about family, it runs the gauntlet. Sometimes you need to get things off your chest. Sometimes you need to forgive and express your love and feelings. But that's what I mean about, I love so much that you say, make the decision on purpose, own it,
hmm.
make it on purpose and do it. Such a powerful book.
Thank you. Yeah, if you make decisions on purpose, you get out of confusion, and you honestly you get your feelings hurt a little bit less too. So,
What was one of your first one decisions that was critical in your life?
um, my first one decision that was critical was being gay, coming out as gay.
Right.
Um, that was that was a decision that was authentic. That was a decision, and honestly, I sometimes feel like, you know, for me during that period of time, I really didn't like myself because of it. I just didn't. I thought it was weird, and I didn't know what it was, and but that actually helps you become a better helper down the road because you can understand other people. But that was an authentic decision. Then getting sober was another one decision I made. Starting up a business was another decision. You know, we make these big decisions or crucial decisions in our life. I know that you've talked to me about that you made a decision to stop arguing with your dad. That was like a
Yeah,
big.
that was a big one. One before that was when I gave up football and took up tennis. Much fewer head injuries. And a lot of people think I quit too late. I should have quit 4 or 5 head injuries earlier. But I did make that decision. And because I started college on a football scholarship and finished on a tennis scholarship. And I just look back on it and I'm so glad I did because I had head injuries. And if I'd have kept on, I'd have had more. And I look back and that was a purposeful decision. It was kind of forced on me, but I didn't fight it. I said, okay, I'm gonna run with this. I'm gonna adjust my lifestyle. I'm gonna go with it. And now, I mean, I play tennis, as you know, 6 or 7 days a week for the last
Mhm.
40 years. It's become a lifestyle for me, and I love it. That was a critical decision I made.
Do you think, hey, let me ask you that. Do you think you played football instead of tennis growing up because you thought that's what you should be doing?